It was Gascoigne's longest uninterrupted spell in a Lazio shirt, and he was finally answering his critics, within the press and within the club.
Around Christmas time, there was a game against Juventus. You scored a goal, you scored that amazing free kick. You had a run of about 7 games in a row where you played the full 90 minutes. Everyone was fainting left, right and centre. It was a golden period, probably the best period you've had so far in Italy.
Yeah, because I started to be myself a little bit more, and I started to like thinking, I want to do the way I had done with Terry Venables. I know they won't let you, but I was saying, look, your system's not working. Keep off me back a little bit. If the press wrote something that in England that wasn't true, Terry Venables wouldn't even, he'd say, oh, he's seen the papers, what do you think? I just went, nothing, and that was it. Stop it. Yeah, you got like people ringing up, like Mancini ringing up, oh, what's happened, there's hell on you. And I said, Richard, there's nothing true in it. Oh, the president's doing this and he's doing that, and Dr. Bartolini's not happy about this and that. So why don't you just think yourself, like the press are talking a lot of shit. Take no notice so I can get off my back.
But the media had no intention of staying off Paul's back, and the much publicised brawl with a photographer proved the culmination of 2 years' relentless pressure.
Well, I mean, I haven't done anything bad in Italy apart from a burp. I've been a press man. I grabbed us round the neck, so I clogged them one. Yeah. But apart from that, I haven't done anything bad. The press are really, really putting us down at the moment. They make me down. They will not just leave me alone. I don't know what I can do about it. I mean, look at Mason and Bianca, young kids, and that. And I went to Euro Disney, and Mason was tired, and I said, it's funny, the kid's only 3 years of age, and. No, you have to tell a little kid like that when all these people are coming around with cameras, and you have to explain who they are, because otherwise he's going to start worrying. And he was tired, and I said, come on, I'll put you in the pushchair and I'll push you. He went, no, I don't want to be in the papers in a pushchair. 3 years of age. And I felt like crying for him. I was really upset with him. Bianca, I don't want to be in the press. And they've got the kids like that at 3 and 4 years of age.
Into 1994, and things were going well for Gascoigne. His mentor at Tottenham, Terry Venables, had been appointed as the New England coach, and Paul was enjoying his best ever period for Lazio. But, as always, trouble was just around the corner. Gazza was injured in the Rome derby, and all the old tensions with Lazio reappeared.
I got a great period of about 14 games where I played really, really well, and I was enjoying it. And I thought, well, I'm back to myself, and it was fantastic. Next thing I get injured. I get injured on my side. I go to England, I rest for 2 days. It was a game before the Denmark game. I come off with my hip, and I said to Lazio, I was really doing well at the time. Can I stay in England one day to see my family? I don't think I'll be fit for Sunday. But I definitely wouldn't be able to train tomorrow. It's alright if I just take that day off and come back tomorrow. And they said no, and I couldn't believe it. I'd done really well for them, and this, and I had told them, please, when I need days off, it's not because I hate Lazio. I want to be out of Italy. It's because on my days off I like to do a bit of fishing or see and relax. The only way that the players don't get the pressure I have, and they wouldn't do it. And eventually I took the day off, and I ended up getting fined £15,000.
Well, that was bizarre, because you got injured in the derby, and you were a hero, and all of a sudden you were like at this point where it was completely broken between you and Lazio.
Well, I think Lazio have got to understand now. This is the thing that I've said. I've sat back and took a lot of shit, and listened to a lot of people where I've took everything in and I haven't been myself, and it's been terrible. It's all about giving and taking. You kind of just want and not give. And that's what I felt. I thought they wanted. I had to speak to the press, I had to speak to the TV, I had to sign everything that was put in front of us. I couldn't do this, couldn't do that, and put it 100% on the football field. And it was, for me, that was a want and not give. And every time I asked for something, I found it very, very hard at the end to ask.
Paul's problems at Lazio got even worse as once again his private life was dragged into the debate. His engagement to longtime girlfriend Cheryl leading to speculation that Gazza's love affair with Lazio was over. Things were getting out of hand.
And at that point, it looked like you were leaving. It looked like you'd reached the point where you'd walked out of a training session. There'd been another time where you turned up and you burst into tears and there was this big thing. I mean, what was going on there? It must have looked to you as well that it was all over.
Well, you know, the odd tears are coming out again. I only hope that, you know, that I can handle these situations. At the moment, I am finding it hard. It's the only reason I'm in tears, because I'm a young lad. I've had it for 8 years and I'm a young lad, and I think a young lad shouldn't have to take all this. And I'm taking it. I'm taking it more than Lady Di, and I'm taking it more than anybody I can think of in England. I'm taking a hell of a lot of pressure, and sometimes I can't cope with it. You know, I try to cope with it, and I hide behind the fact that I try and be funny and hide behind it, but at the end of the day, I can be a serious person.
Gazza's serious side won the day, and despite all the problems, it was agreed that he would stay on. But before he could get back to full fitness, he was struck by the biggest disaster of a depressing 2 years.
It started as just another training day at Lazio's Maestrelli practice ground, but the smiles were soon to turn to tears as Paul Gascoigne collapsed on the pitch. A seemingly innocuous tackle with a youth team player in a supposedly gentle five-a-side game left him writhing in agony. It was immediately obvious that the injury was serious. By the time Gascoigne reached the San Giacomo hospital in Rome, the press were already onto the story. After the mayhem of his admission, the Lazio camp gave their first reactions.
Well, during training football match, he had a tackle with another player, and he has broken his leg.
Playing a five-a-side, and it was 0-0 after about 15 minutes. It was hard, it was hot. And I let this player go and he scored a goal. And the lad said, "Oh, wait," and I got upset at that. I didn't go mad, but I just thought, God, you know, I can't believe it. It was shattered, and they're really taking this five-a-side really serious. And next thing, the ball got loose, and I went in and put a strong tackle against a young lad. He's built a bit like a tank. And I coming from the side, but he got there a fraction before, and as he kicked the ball leg strong, I come across and hit him. And I went to the ground, I just felt a numbing sensation up my leg. And when I went to pick my leg up, my foot stayed on the ground, sort of thing. So as I picked that up, that just stayed, and I knew I could feel it being out part. It was a horrible feeling, and then that was it. The pain was worse than the ligament pain there, and in my face. Every operation I've had, that broken leg was unbelievable. Because so we're walking to help is one step was ahead, so it was like step. And when he was stepping, it was like pulling my bones apart. I felt that sensation. It was a horrible feeling. You know, and from when I got into the hospital, then I just wanted them to just put me asleep and just wake up with my leg being better again. I couldn't wait for it. Then I had to travel to England. So you're not taking any more photos? No, fine. And the airplane, broken leg, and I was in agony, and I just couldn't wait to get on and take photos, you know.
Surgeon John Browett, the man who rebuilt Gascoigne's knee in 1991, again performed emergency surgery. But as the broken leg began to heal, had a new story, the breakdown of Gazza's love life. He revealed all in a dramatic confession.
The show was getting lost tickets, not fair for a woman to take that. And
Is that why you decided to make it public?
Yeah, because I wanted to be man enough. I wanted to be man, like I said, I wanted to change, sort of, instead of hiding behind everyone's back, come out and be myself. I looked at it, I read it, I even was in charge of the headlines. Yeah. I'd done everything, so it's over with now. If I didn't want to do it, I wouldn't have put it in the papers. But at the moment, you know, I don't know what will happen by the time this tape comes out, but we're still good friends. Shell's.
You still talk?
Yeah, Shell's in Italy now. Having a couple of holidays at the villa, a couple of weeks holiday. Yeah. And we're going to go away for a few days together in France. It'll be nice. And then obviously the kids are going to come out, shares for a couple of weeks with me. And we're still good friends. You know, it's not a problem. We don't know what will happen in the future, but at the moment we're both happy the way things are going, and I'll just keep it like that. Now it's up to me, and I want to be a top class player, and I want to get fit again. I just don't want to have any more injuries.
Cura uno. Okay.
cazzo mi sto male. Qui.
Qui dietro, no? Vabbè, quello è il pallone medicinale. Vai. Senza.
When you're on your own work like this, if you feel like no one gives a shit about you until you're playing again. You know, you've got other things. And that's hard. You think no one cares, you think, you know, that you're not going to play again. Loads of things go through your mind, you know, you feel very lonely. You know, once you get through and come to the end of the tunnel, it's not too bad. When I come to the end of the tunnel, it's not too bad, you know. That tunnel's about 5 months away.
2, 1, via. Stop.
It's a nice day, Robbie, yeah?
Today, Paul is once again fighting a lonely battle back to fitness while his teammates prepare for the new season. Perhaps the one thing that helps his isolation is that today, at least they speak the same language.
And I've been out here a couple of years, I must say I'm perfect, I understand more than I speak. But I just listen to the guys. When I tried to learn in England, it was difficult because I was taking a lesson for an hour and then I would go down to the pub with the lads and speak to the lads, and the next day I forgot everything. Where we are, because you're around them all the time, you start to pick it up more.
Mm. Do they learn English as well?
The lads,
Yeah.
you know swear words. I know a few
I've noticed
swear
that,
words.
actually.
Yeah, you noticed that. You've seen it. No. Eccolo, lo vedi. Questo ti... Poi anche usa mano. Hai visto tipo? Mezzo il campo un po'. Dove... Perché non cross, man? Perché non cross prima volta? Come non lo sforzo, se non cross, anche tanto mai via. Mai via, ed era basta. Basta, io non vai perché il pallone mai entrare in area. Va bene, Chris. Tempo, Chris. Watching the match, man.
As the 94-95 season approaches, there's a new man in charge at Lazio, the glacial Czech coach Zdeněk Zeman. He might be surprised to know that Paul too harbours managerial ambitions.
People think I wouldn't be good as a manager because the way I joke and clown about. I have got ways how I think the game should be played, and I do think seriously about being a manager when I'm finished. I want my players to relax, and I would want them to enjoy the football. Enjoy it. If they're not enjoying it, well, there's no way they can perform, and I would want them to enjoy it and have respect for each other. That's important, to have respect for yourself and to have respect for your players around you and what they're capable of doing. Bravo, Diego! Diego!
But for now, Paul has to concentrate on his future as a player.
I will look hard in January when I get back playing again, and at the end of the season I will definitely think what I want to do now, whether I want to stay in Italy or whether I want to go back to England or whatever, you know. World Cup is when I'm 31. If I still feel I want to play football and things like that, then we'll look at that. After then I might just go away for a couple of years, just keep out of England for 2 years, just get my mind right again, you know, because they're absolutely driving me nutty.
After 2 years, Italy is still waiting for Paul Gascoigne to prove his greatness. and they'll be waiting for a while yet. A further operation is required this October before Paul can return to the field at last and deliver on his promise.
Now it's just a matter of getting the operation over, getting back to really top-class fitness, enjoying myself, and listen to the right people and do what I think's best for Paul Gascoigne. I want my health. I want to be walking again without crutches. You know, I'm fed up with using them. I want to be running about like a big kid. My football's the only thing I know. I don't know anything else. But if you're on about superstitions, John Moncur's got two fantastic ones. You all know John Moncur, he's joined West Ham now. And if you ever see him, he's in the car. Right? And he comes in and he said, my thumbs are really hurting this morning. I said, why is that? He said, I travelled 200 miles last night. Another lamppost in the road, in the motorway. In between each lamppost, he touches the steering wheel 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. If you have a look at his fingers, right, they're chubby, but his thumbs are as muscly as hell. The other one he's got is, I mean, I would never get to that stage where he gives it that all the time. So if you're watching any of the West Ham players, look out for John Moncur's habits.
Boy, it works for him.
It works for him, it gets him out of his head. He's still alive, his neck's very stiff and his face a bit twisted.
He's got big thumbs.
But his thumbs are... He dribbled on his thumbs. Alright, manji.
You manji?
Fruit.
Fruit. Chicken.
Hello, you are my God. I believe in you. You are my God.
Thank you.
You are my God. I love you.
You're my God.